Hi everyone, welcome back to the garage. This episode we have a massive tool haul video. The past month or so my wife and I have spent looking for some estate sales and think we found some diamonds in the rough. We got a whole bunch of stuff that fits in the toolbox, we got stuff that doesn't fit in the toolbox, and some stuff that's not really tools but still fun to collect anyway. So why don't you come on this side of the workbench and we'll get into it. Alright, up first we have this quite vintage and quite rusty Wardmaster toolbox. I wasn't looking for a toolbox, but I needed something to carry some of the tools in at one of the estate sales, and this box was available. This box was actually made by Montgomery Ward, and Wardmaster was one of the product lines that they had. It used to be green, not sure what, and it's got a whole bunch of colors on it now. Some paint, a lot of rust, but we could take care of that. What I'd like to do is get a semi-tubular rivet kit and be able to take these plates off and put them on properly after they're cleaned up. I also want to be able to reprint a vinyl sticker for the toolbox when I'm done. So got to look into either finding somebody or learning how to print the vinyl sticker myself. Let's get into the toolbox. Okay, lots of fun little stuff in here to start with. Right off the top, we've got one of these Belknap hardware manufacturing company steel rules. It's a 50-foot rule. It's marked transatlantic steel tape. This one, it's going to clean up nice. It's got some brass and some steel made in the USA. And the steel tape, little bent up front, but still looks great. Wind you back up. Next on top, pair of pliers. Can't quite make out what the inscription is on it. It does say made in USA, but can't see much else beyond that. The next couple pair of pliers, check these out. Lineman's pliers and a small pair of needle nose pliers. These guys, a little bit of surface rust, they will clean up nice. What I like about them is I didn't notice it until I got them home. They do say on the one side, US zone. Let me get you in close to see these here. US zone. That's after World War II, between 1945 and 1949, Germany was occupied by the Allied powers. Great Britain, United States, Soviet Union, and France each took a piece of Germany to watch over during the rebuilding stage. And the tools that were made in the US zone of Germany were stamped US zone. I do have a few upstairs in the other toolbox marked British zone. So these are historically cool to collect. Plus they're in great shape. All right, what else do we got on the top here? Razor blades. Could never pass up razor blades. There we go. Here's your basic Stanley 1299. Plenty of those, but you can always use another. A straight razor blade scraper. One that does not have a manufacturer's name on it, but it is very similar to a Dural, D-U-R-A-L-L, Dural razor blade. Open it up on the inside. It is stamped, made in the USA. And then this one, the Stanley 1299, old school style. Nice cast iron, nice and heavy. Old red paint left on it. This is going to clean up nice. Out of the two 1299s, which one would you prefer? This Stanley 1299 or the old school Stanley 1299? I think I know the answer. Good stuff. All right, next up out of the toolbox, a very old scraper, wooden handle with what looks like soft lead framing around the handle. Just a really cool old scraper. We also got, let's see here, a Rex 1-inch micrometer. You guys checked out my other videos, you'll see that I have restored a micrometer not too long ago that was in a lot worse shape than this one. This one still moves freely. The anvils aren't seized up, so this one is going to be another good one. I almost dropped it. This one's going to be another good one to clean up. Let's see here, right off the top. Crescent wrenches. And contrary to popular belief, crescent wrenches were not invented by the Crescent Tool Company. These 10-inch adjustable wrenches are from the Crescent Tool Company, Jamestown, New York. This one, the top one here, Crescent Tool Company, is marked Crestalloy. Crestalloy was a steel alloy that Crescent was using starting in 1930. And this one on the bottom here is drop forged steel. So two 10-inch crescent wrenches, different time periods, both by the Crescent Tool Company. If you want to go down a rabbit hole, look up the history of the Crescent Tool patent for the adjustable wrench. There's stories of how a designer from Sweden came over and met with designers from the Crescent Tool Company. All right, let's get some more out of this box here. Let's go for the chisels. There we go. We got 4 chisels out of the box. 2 of them are T.H. Witherby, warranted. T.H. Witherby was a tool manufacturer mid-1800s out of Connecticut. Got a couple of socket chisels from him, his company. We got one here. No name on it. Does have some leather on the bottom of the handle. Quarter inch chisel. And another socket chisel marked number 341 Greenlee. So pretty sizable length on that chisel. It's got a notch taken out of the blade. We'll have to reprofile that, clean it up, but pretty substantial, good looking chisel. All right, next up out of the box, a couple of these guys, a couple of awls, or ice pick actually. This is a really cool one. You can see the metal striking plate on the bottom, wood handle. This one's all wood, an all wood awl that the retaining pin on the ferrule was tried to be punched out, didn't quite get all the way out. A couple of awls. And folding rules. Here we go. One metal folding rule from the Lufkin Company, Saginaw, Michigan. Got some surface rust, but all the printing is still pretty visible on it. And one no name, number 160 wooden folding rule. If anybody recognizes this manufacturer's mark on it, let me know. Not one that I recall offhand. So wooden folding rule. What else? Here we go. It's like a 5-inch and probably a 9-inch pair of vice grips. New styles, got the real quick release on the handle. Could always use a couple new vice grips, especially the little guys. They're good. And these guys, these channel locks, made right up the road from me in Meadville, PA. Still in great shape. Love these guys because they are local. So pick them up, they'll clean up nice. And last couple things out of the middle. We have part of a tap and die set. Little 1-inch dies. So add these to the set, see if there's any ones that I'm missing. These look like they're all, these ones look like they're all finer threads. And with a couple of, don't know how these made it into the toolbox, but it looks like a couple of 1/4-inch, like fireplace gas valves, keys for the fireplace gas valves. Got a few of those. Thrown in for good measure. And quick on this side, thrown in a propane torch head and a bunch of bunch of wooden handled carving knives. The rest of them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Set of 10 wooden handled carving knives. Let's get you around the other side. All right, finishing up the side compartment on the drawer. Couple pair of vintage scissors. This pair here is W. Bingham out of Germany. And this pair is a Richards of Sheffield, England. So English and German scissors. Also coming out, a little screwdriver with a company logo on it. We got some pocket screwdrivers and a set of four Exolite screwdrivers. 2 that have the pocket tab on them, 2 that don't. All standard screwdrivers. One of them, there it is marked MSA. That's a local company here in Pittsburgh, Mine Safety Appliances. So this was probably a gift or one of the tools for the employees at MSA. So some Exolite screwdrivers. Another pocket screwdriver. And a couple of wooden handled ones. Let's see, this guy. This one I've seen similar ones, shorter, in tap and die sets. So little screwdriver there, nice brass ferrule on it. A little pocket screwdriver here. And a wooden handled, little tiny jobber, little wooden handled screwdriver. And finally, last couple, another one marked MSA, little pocket screwdriver. I think this is one of the ones that the Phillips tip comes out and you put it back in and it's standard flathead on the other side. I haven't been able to get this one out yet, but I think that's what it is. And then this little wooden awl looks like something for leather working. A little tiny awl. What else is over here? A couple of X-Acto knife handles. This one is stamped General, made in the USA. And one that's marked X-Acto. Yes, marked X-Acto. Last couple things. Some tweezers. When you're in this, when you get this kind of hobby, tweezers definitely come in handy. Couple of no names here, stainless steel. And then this one is marked Romaine, Italy. So a nice pair of sturdy stainless steel tweezers, Romaine, Italy. So a pocket knife, this little guy. These are always fun to clean up. The blade does come out, locks up. Yep, locks up. It is a Utica. It is a Cutmaster out of Utica, New York. And there's something stamped on the blade. Something with auto something group, so it's probably an employee gift maybe. The little knife, it's in there, but I can't get it out. But the big blade does have this full tip on it, so it hasn't been broken off. This will make a nice little restoration. And lastly, out of the top, little wooden box. Probably goes with the die set. These are for Vermont Tap and Die Corporation. So little wooden box, slides open, and there's the taps. All right, so that was the top of the toolbox. Let's get this cleaned off and get into the big stuff in the bottom. All right, we got the bench cleaned off. Let's get some stuff out of the bottom of the toolbox. Up first, we got this brace. Nondescript, nothing extraordinary about it. Does have the surface rust on it. These are always time consuming to clean up just because of the round surface. But this one will clean up nice because there's nothing wrong with it other than the rust. The handles are in great shape. The wood is solid. The mechanism itself, the ratcheting end, it moves freely. So That's always good. It's not seized up, so that's half the battle right there. It does have the jaws in place, and it does move freely. So this would make a fantastic restoration project, only because half the battle is done. It already moves. Up next, here's a fun one. Some of you might have seen these before. This is a Shelton ratcheting socket tool. Haven't seen one before. I think I've seen 357 Magdad has a bunch of these, and he's restored them. They look fantastic. This is the first one that I've come across, and the set looks to be complete. It's got the socket drivers, it's got flathead, Phillips, it's got the attachments for the sockets. And the cool thing about this is the socket tool ratcheting. Flip this little lever over and it will ratchet. There it goes. Ratchet the other way. Nice thing about this is it's complete, and it looks like another company gift. This one's stamped on the top, Armco Butler Works. Assigned maintenance department, 2 million safe man hours, August 15th, 1965. So coming across a lot of company gifts here to the employees for 2 million safe man hours up at the Armco Steelworks, Armco Butler Works, right north of here. So, all right, let's keep digging out of the toolbox. Your basic wood handled claw hammer with not one but two metal wedges in the top. Other than that, the claws aren't chipped. The handle's not cracked. This handle's solid. This will be in great shape. Clean up to make a user. As opposed to this guy, holy smokes. This pipe wrench, number 10 pipe wrench, Stilson style. It's got about a quarter inch worth of black tape on the handle to hold it on. Rusted. The pin holding the jaw retainer is missing and bent. This would definitely be a project and a half. I did one of my first restorations was I got it for $1, monkey wrench restoration, and it wasn't nowhere near as in bad a shape as this. But if you take the time, these do clean up nice. You can really get them to polish. These guys. We got a whole set of socket nut drivers. These guys, nothing special. There are some duplicates in here. They are made in Taiwan, but they're in good shape. This is something you clean up and just throw into the toolkit you have in your car. So, whole set of socket nut drivers. And the bag they come in is shot, so we'll probably just toss that and put these into a small toolbox for the car. All right, here's a small ball peen hammer. This guy had the snot beat out of it. The hammer is chipped. It is shredded at the top up by the head, and there are three nails holding this little ball peen head onto the handle. So if we're into a hammer restoration, this would definitely be a good candidate. All right, almost at the bottom of the box. We got an old trigger oiler. No dents in it, which is great to see. The only marking on it that I've been able to find is USA on the top. So in good shape. The bottom could use a little bit of hammering to make it flat again, but oiler in great shape. This you don't find all the time at estate sales, at least not in this condition. It's not an uncommon plane. It's a Stanley Bailey number 4. It's in seriously rough shape. It's got rust everywhere that there could be rust possible. If the wood could have rust on it, the wood would be rusted as well. But the handles, the tote, the knob, in great shape. There's no cracks, chips, one little crack, little piece missing on the knob in the front. The 3 patent dates, the logo on the iron, all point to this being a number 4 Type 11 from World War I era, like around 1911 to 1918. it does come apart. And the frog, tons of rust on the frog. This thing will clean up. I've done them before. If you look at one of my past videos, I did my wife's grandfather's Stanley number 4. Wasn't anywhere near this rusty, but these do clean up nice. So we're going to put some attention into this guy and turn it into one of the shining users in the shop. All right. These were lying around at one of the estate sales. You can never pass up wooden handles, especially ones like this that are in great shape, for hammers, for hatchets. So we got ourselves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 good handles that we could use to hang the new heads on. So good handles. And lastly, out of the bottom of the box, we've got 3. I'll get you around so you can see these guys. 3 Industro sets of sockets. Tiny, medium, large. So these are really cool. The handle for the sockets is in the side. Take the handle out, pull your socket out, put it right on the tip, and you're ready to go. Small set, the medium set, looks like they're all complete. They are stamped Industro Manufacturing Corp on the bottom. And the large one, cool about this large one, side opens up, there's your sockets, is the handle. The driver is on the top. It would slide out. This one is frozen, rusted in place, but we'll get that out of there. Clean these guys up. So small, medium, and large Industro socket sets. These are cool. Get you in here so you can see the top of that ratchet. There's Industro out of Chicago right on top there. Pretty cool old tools. All right, let's get these cleaned up and get into some other stuff. All right, here's a couple of items I wanted to share with you guys that we picked up from some estate sales. And they're not tools, but they're just fun little things to collect and put into the workshop. This guy, the one estate sale, the gentleman's house, he had a ton of old fire equipment, fire hose nozzles, fire alarms. This one is what they used to keep the fuses. This was the breaker for the fire alarm. So while I won't use it for a fire alarm, it will clean up nice, and I could hang it on the wall, take the fuses out, and make it into something neat for around the garage. So fire alarm fuse box. This guy over here, a vintage probably 1950s Manning Bowman desk fan. This is definitely industrial strength. It does work. I turned it on, and this thing blows some serious wind across the floor. In great shape, sturdy, durable. There's really no rust on it. It's going to clean up sharp because I've had one like this before. So nice 75-ish year old fan. Works. And this one, I know at estate sales, garage sales, you always see lanterns, Dietz lanterns, Coleman lanterns. If you know what you're looking for, every now and then you find a diamond in the rough, and this is one of them. It is a Dietz number 2 D-Lite, D-L-I-T-E. It's got the original glass in it. Everything is solid on it. It is missing the reservoir cap. There's a cork in it for right now. But what's really cool about this, brought it home. The dates for these guys are usually on the air tubes on the side. And looking at the date roll stamp on the air tube here, this was a World War II era Dietz lantern. So it's stamped of August of 1943, made during World War II. So this is super cool to have. It's going to clean up nice. There is no rust anywhere on it. The bottom is solid. You could fill it up right now and light it. Just put a new wick in it and you're good to go. These things are super nice to have, and a fantastic era in history to have something from. So Dietz number 2 D-Light lantern. Let's clean this off and get into some of the other equipment. All right, this next one isn't one that I found. Isn't one that I found at a garage sale or estate sale. This was actually a gift to me. Somebody had found it at a garage sale and thought of me. It is a 10-inch table vise, and it was manufactured, get you around here, manufactured by Colombian Manufacturing Company. Yeah, come on around this side, I'll get you in closer. All right, there you go. Right on top here, Colombian and Cleveland, Ohio, made in USA. Pretty significant, strong table vise, 10 inches across, and everything moves freely. And the cool thing about this vise is it does have the quick release, meaning that if you release the handle, you can slide the jaws all the way up till it meets whatever you have, whatever object you have in there, and then tighten it down. It'll lock it up. So this thing is got to weigh, at least 20, 25 pounds. And I got to find a place to mount this. So awesome, awesome 10-inch Colombian table vise. All right, let me get this out of the way. You guys hang tight, and let me get you something else to see. All right, here you go. Here's the next one. This guy's got some weight to it, too. Here we go. Delco motor, Delco Products Division of GM, 1/3 horsepower, 3,450 RPM, nice little benchtop grinder. It does work. I plugged it in. It still works. And check out the cool toggle on-off switch at the bottom. So this thing is going to be amazing to clean up and get working in the shop. All right, let's change things up a little bit. Go from inside the garage to outside the garage for these tools. We got a couple of saws on top, a no-name outside limbing saw. So you take off some tree limbs seriously fast with this guy. The handle's in great shape. Hardware looks to be original. Not too old, not in too bad a shape. Teeth could definitely use some sharpening, get the rust off the blade. This guy over here, another outside crosscut saw for logs and limbs and such. It is a Distin. It's a late model Distin, probably 1950s, I'm guessing. The finish on the handle's worn away. It is missing some of the original screws and nuts. The blade, it's in good shape. It's not bent. It does have a lot of surface rust on it. Unfortunately, there are a few of the teeth. That are broken off. So, but outside saw. Some of these guys, we got some lopers here, some steel frame lopers, wooden handles. The cool thing about these guys is they are stamped. Let's see here. There we go. Stamped Distin Porter USA 7A. So Distin Porter is the manufacturer of these guys. These are heavy duty. So looking forward to cleaning these up. These would be fun to use. We've got another pair of lopers here. These have been worked on before. The wooden handles slide up into the frame, and that has been welded at least once before. But the blade's in good shape. Definitely needs sharpened. We could take the pins out of the side here, pull the wooden handles off, clean them up, get the frame cleaned up, blade sharpened, and you got yourself a nice pair of mini lopers. Next here, a pair of WIS USA hedge cutters. They do have the rubber shock absorber in the middle here, and these things are solid. They are definitely substantial. And what caught my eye about these ones is the perfect handle style handles on these guys. The wood is solid, it's not cracked. The pins go all the way through. They could be taken out. This whole thing could be cleaned up super nice. So a pair of WIS USA hedge cutters with perfect handle style grips. Last one, vintage sickle. Not that I have much use for a sickle in the yard. If my grass grows that long, we have other issues. But this thing, it was hanging up along with the hedge cutters. And this would just be nice to hang up, clean up, and hang up in the shed or hang on the outside wall as a nice vintage decoration. All right, now let's get into. I've got a whole pile of saws that came along with these estate tool hauls. So let's clear this out and get into some of the panel saws. All right, here's the first batch of saws that I've been accumulating over the past few estate sales. This one here, I've put some stickers, some tape on them, as I've done some research, just making note of what I've found. This guy is a no-name. I can't find any manufacturer. Hunting down the style of the saw. It does have a crack in the handle. But what intrigued me was the plate on this side of the handle. There isn't one on this side. Only on this side. It's 26 inch. It does have that cool little nib down at the bottom of the blade. The teeth are in good shape. 26 inches long. That'll clean up nice. We can glue the handle. The next ones, we got some Simons. A little tiny saw here. Other than the blade being completely trashed, the handle's in great shape. It's got all the medallions. It's got the medallion and all the screws. Nice little wheat design on the handle. And what intrigued me, if you look at the end of the blade here, it's got this little design. I can't figure that out. So if anybody knows anything about Simon saws and the blade designs, drop me a comment. Let me know about this. All right, this Simon saw. It looks like the medallion and the screws were nickel plated. The blade is in relatively good shape. There's very little rust on it. The handle, that horn on the top has seen better days, but there's no other cracks in it. So nice Simon's example. And this guy, this is a beefy saw. Holy smokes. It's a Simon's. It unfortunately has a crack right down through the handle. We can take care of that though. The etching, there is still, I know you guys won't be able to see it, but you could, visible in the middle of the saw is the Simon's etch, that when we clean this up, we can see how much of it we can preserve. So another fine example of a very old Simon saw. All right, let's clear these out and get the next batch. All right, this next batch of saws are the Distons. So all of these saws, for any of you saw collectors or saw aficionados out there, most of these are not collector grade saws. They've all got issues. When you do collect them, maybe the blade's in great shape and you toss the handle, or you buy it because you need the medallions. So you can mix and match and put pieces together for the saws. This keyhole saw, Diston keyhole saw. The medallions on Diston, there's a whole website, the Distonian Institute, helps you identify and date your Diston saws. So just based on the medallion, get you close. So these ones are very late 1800s, early 1900s on this keyhole saw. This guy here, very same date range, very early 1900s, very late 1800s. This one still has, I don't know if I can get you in here to see the etching, the Diston etch on the blade. This is a D23, and based on all the research on it, with the etching and the medallion, this was made between 1911 and 1917. 26 inches, D23. See if I can get you in to see that etch. There's a little bit of the etching on that Diston D23. All right, back up top. Let's keep going. This one, this beefy Diston. This is a number 7, and this one you could actually see pretty well. I think you can. There we go, there's the etching on it. This is a Henry Diston & Sons cast steel ship saw. It's a number 7 ship saw or ship point saw, boat builder saw between 1917 and 1940. Based on the medallion and the design, it is pre-1928, so anywhere from 1917 to 1928. Unfortunately, for this guy, the handle has seen better days. The horn's been broken off. Other than that, missing a few of the screws, but that etching's still in place. The blade itself is in great shape. So if we can either fix this or find a replacement handle, you got a pre-1928 Diston number 7 ship pattern or ship point saw. And the last one, the last Diston, this one's in the best shape. Nice applewood handle, completely intact. Medallion puts this 26-inch saw at early 1900s, 1896 to 1917. It's a Diston number 9. In fantastic shape, other than some surface rust on the blade. But some of my other videos, you'll see these blades do clean up nice. And that applewood handle, we can get that applewood handle shining just like new. So there's the Diston saws. Still trying to figure out how I'm going to get you guys to see this last saw. Hang on. All right, the last saw that we have is this guy. One serious 2-man crosscut saw. This was found in the basement at one of the estate sales, and I couldn't believe it was still sitting there. I guess everybody's trying to figure out how they're going to get it home. The cool thing about this is it still has both original wooden handles. Let me get you a look at this. This guy doesn't even fit on the workbench. So this 5.5-foot 2-man crosscut saw with original wooden handles still intact. The blades, the teeth are sharp. The rakes are still in great shape. There's no manufacturer's mark on this anywhere that I could see, but this guy is going to clean up fantastic. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. I think it was just going to be one of those saws to get mounted and hung up. Or maybe I find somebody that, collects these kind of things, but this was just amazing to find. All right, so here's another, give you an idea of how big this thing is. I'm 6 feet tall. This saw is 5.5 feet, and it is amazing. This is rare to find, especially one with the original handle still intact like this. Usually you have one handle missing, or they've been broken or replaced. 100% all original, 5.5-foot, 2-man outdoor crosscut saw. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. Clean it up, hang it up on the wall, maybe. I have no idea where. Or maybe clean it up and get it into the hands of somebody who collects these things, who's versed on the history of logging and would think this would be a good addition to their collection. So anyways, that pretty much finishes up that massive tool haul of all the estate sales that my wife and I have been going to for the past month. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that subscribe and the thumbs up button, and we'll see you on the next restoration.